Morning, everybody. Headed into work Friday morning. It's probably going to be the last really nice day here in Tampa for a few days because we're expecting a lot of rain over the Memorial Day weekend. Do have a brand new card show tomorrow, which we'll do some cards and cases, give you an idea of kind of what that looks like. I'll do a little more panning around the room. I have a question for y'all here for this video. What do you want out of content? What makes content palatable or watchable or listenable? Because I know some people like to watch content. A lot of people just like to listen to content. And a lot of people really like to interact with content. So I know when you put a video out or when somebody puts a video out, we're usually looking for something that we're getting some type of, I guess, different, good, odd, or rare information. I don't really know how to say it. I mean, I want people to really comment, not just to comment. I want to tell, what are you looking for? Like, what do you want out of content? Because everybody else has a different idea of what they want. One of the things that's interesting is the people that have really big followings and channels, a lot of them do just talk to the camera, information, talking about something that's already happened, talking about something that's up and coming, or sharing a view on something because they're opening a product and you're kind of seeing that as that happens. I know a lot of those, or almost all of our videos, once they come out, unless it hits an algorithm, nobody goes back and watches stuff. Do you ever go back to a page and go, oh, did I miss a video that got put out? I mean, a lot of people don't. I do. I like to go back and look at old content because there's data there and information that doesn't get brought up anymore. Or you can bring it back up as in, look how dumb and stupid you were, or damn, you were actually right. Most people don't like to do that one for anybody, but that's just the idea behind that. I'm a pretty level-headed person. Do I want my content to be a little more exciting? Of course I do. You know, Sports Card Professor the other night while we were doing our stream, was watching our stream. He's been doing a good job at, giving his opinion on things like that. And he gave me some good feedback, and I appreciate that because at the end of the day, what do you want? He says my content's lazy. It is kind of lazy. I'm not throwing clips in here, clips in there. I don't know if that's what makes it unlazy all of a sudden because I added a clip, or am I talking about something more intriguing? But I want to know, what do you look for in content? That's really what I want to know. One thing we can talk about right now is, EQL drops. Ziggy's the only one that I know that ever hits an EQL drop, so he's probably got some inside, breaker cred that goes on, that they drop him some product. I don't really know, but I haven't been able to hit an EQL to save my life. Seeing if I hit the Cactus Jack one. If I do, I doubt if I'm going to open a stupid $500 box. It's going to go for $1,000. It's an easy flip if you want to do it. And there's nothing wrong with flipping in this game, guys. That's the other thing, too. Is people like to poo-poo people on doing one thing or another, and if you see an opportunity, I think 99% of us are going to get it. I mean, Chris Sewell, when he was on the show the other night on Professor Sports Cards as well, gave him the thing. Hey, if you could buy a card that you knew you could easily resell $100 over the sticker price, would you do it? And he's like, yeah, I probably would. It's a natural thing for us to be able to get a good deal and then maybe move that into something else so we can just buy more of the product. It's not like we're degenning to get out of cards. We degen to get into more cards. That's what we do. I mean, at the end of the day, it's what we do. I'm going to sell a whole bunch of cards and I'm going to go buy one really nice card because maybe I want to refine my collection, my palette for my collection. I think that's what happens a lot of people as they get older. You get one or two things that you create as a project, and then everything else becomes, like fine wine. You're trying to upgrade. You're trying to get a little bit better with your collection, or go look for rare pieces that normally in the past you didn't maybe have the free money or extra money to go in and buy. So I think that's just an evolution of the hobby. And one of the things I'm thinking is, this is the first time we're living through multiple generations of collecting, multiple generations of ups and downs, and seeing booms and falls and booms and falls, and overprinting and underprinting and then overprinting, competition, no competition, everybody's competition. Now the competition's weird because we don't even know what it looks like. And I think we're all just looking for new things. Like the product that Upper Deck just came out, The Boys season 1 and 2 from the TV series. That's been done very well and has been very well received. And I'm looking and I'm like, so what was so hard about this? at the end of the day, what was so hard about this? I didn't notice Carl Urban, which is the main character on the good guy side, non-soup, or I guess technically a soup because he took stuff, spoiler alert. He looks like he's on card and everybody else is sticker. At least from what I've seen. Maybe there's a couple other ones that are on card, but I haven't seen them. And again, we don't really like stickers. I don't know how we haven't been able to come up with a slightly better sticker. I think Leaf does the sticker the best to where you can't usually tell it's a sticker. And it's because of the white they put in the background to where it blends. The other thing too is if they create stickers that are a little thinner, and then if they were beveled off at the edge, it'd be really hard to tell. But of course, someone put the hologram behind it as well. And that's for people faking or duplicating them. You can wipe it off of that and re-sign it, or take it off and have somebody else. People can already figure that out. So stop thinking you're reinventing the wheel when it's not working. Nitro, some cold foam. Just spitting it everywhere. But yeah, let me know about the content. What do you think? Anybody hitting EQLs? Because it ain't me. Football season's getting ready to start. We're already seeing some cards starting to pick up steam. People just with drafting is noticing that, and people are kind of taking those pointers and going after those people. Andy's the Fantasy Quest, Football Quest. I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. His YouTube channel focuses only on football. And he always goes after football of different prices. It doesn't have to be the top. And he always puts data out a lot like Neo does, but only about football cards and only about how you have flip potential in these cards. So if you're ever curious about that, because it is a way to flip stuff, like people are always looking for that data. He does it differently than a lot of other people. So type in Andy Sports Card Quest, I think is what it is. But it's just interesting to see how things are already starting to move. At the on the live the other night where we did the draft, I was saying if I was buying a quarterback right now, it'd be Bo Nix. I think he has the most potential upside that doesn't have baked in pricing. Why is this guy walking his dog in the bike lanes in the other side of the street? Welcome to Florida. But Bo Nix is a great one. You got running backs this year going to be really interesting. I'm super high on Bucky Irving and Baker Mayfield, but Baker's cards, unless he does something phenomenally crazy, aren't going to go up crazily. Florida, they'll be valuable. Outside of Florida, it has something to do with it being in the Browns uniform probably. But Bucky Irving, I think, has a heavy shot this year to be an MVP candidate. And I say that because if you think about it, he was splitting carries with Rachaad White the first half of the season and still had a phenomenal season. So imagine him getting the full load for a full season and all that stats, because he can catch out of the backfield. He can block. Obviously, he can run. To me, he's the closest thing to Barry Sanders I've seen. He's not Barry Sanders, but the closest thing I've seen to Barry Sanders. So just don't be surprised if you see that. I have the Buccaneers playing the Bengals in the Super Bowl. Just putting it out there in case it happens, which it will, and then the Bucs winning. So that's the way I would see that moving forward. Congratulations to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce for getting engaged. We'll see if they actually ever get married. Usually relationships like this don't work real well. And I'm worried that Kelce is becoming soft, even though I did draft him. KC just seems like they're going to struggle because I'm not seeing them put great players around Mahomes. And Mahomes is great, but you still need great players. I mean, when he had Tyreek Hill, that's really what opened that offense up. Since then, they've struggled a bit more. So I want to see that progression out of Mahomes, especially for like collecting his cards long term and for potential Super Bowls. But then again, Brady had like a downtrodden time too, to where in between him winning those 3 Super Bowls and then not winning any for a few years, his cards at that time went down quite a bit. I mean, they weren't as high as they are now, but there was a heavy shift where you had a really good buying opportunity for a lot of his cards. And a lot of people were like, well, you know, he's never going to win another Super Bowl. And then he rolls up like 4 more total for the rest of his career. So, and that could be Mahomes as well. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing because I'm long on Mahomes, but at some point you got to cut the cord. Just like Mike Trout. I mean, I was long on Mike Trout, and basically after next year, if he can't put together a full season and get traded to somebody else, I don't want to keep holding on to that bag anymore. You know, I'm not trying to catch a falling knife. that's already falling quite a bit. If you go look at what the Mike Trout Bum and Chrome first auto in like a 9.5 or a 10, just a base, was going for at peak during the boom versus now, I think it was like selling for like 20K, and now you can get one for like 4,800, 4,500, or something like that. That's a huge loss. If you had bought and then you're holding on to that bag, there ain't no coming back from that one, I don't think. And with the big sale with Kevin O'Leary and everybody on the Jordan, that's so far outside of our range. I think it's not necessarily a pump and dump as in a quick turnaround pump and dump. I do think it is trying to force control the hobby by deliberately getting the highest selling card ever. Because at that point, the next person that buys it realistically would look at what they sold it, what they bought it for, and are going to try it and buy it over that. And then everybody's going to want it now because it's desirable, because it's the highest selling card. And if you're playing only in the top, where these guys have so much money, so much time, they're bored and they're just looking to spend all the time, that's what they do. They just constantly try to one-up each other. And that's what that market is. If you have something right now that's super high end, that you've just held on to forever, get the F out of it. Get out of it. Sell it. Get a lesser version of it. Still be happy, or don't even worry about it. But if you have something that you can get millions of dollars for, or $1 million for, get out of it. All right? 5 years from now, that card is not going to do what it is. Maybe even 2. So be very mindful. Be very careful. Be very smart, especially for those that collect and invest at the same time. Because let's face it, this has become an asset class. Is it a good one? No, it's a rocky freaking road, especially for anybody that's still alive and still playing. Because think about it. Oh, Tom Brady's safe. No, he's not. That dude could kill 3 people tomorrow, and that card is not safe. They could all wander Franco at any point. They can all Diddy party it up. And we know darn well that LeBron's been to Diddy parties. And who knows what his weird lifestyle is. But all it takes is one person to sue him. Now he's done something wrong, and all of his cards go down. All right? The only ones that are truly safe, unfortunately, are the dead ones, because that's locked in. They can't do any more. All the live ones, even Jordan. What happens if Jordan does something stupid? It's all possible. Like, don't think it's not possible because they ain't done it. They got plenty of time still. They're very rich, and rich people do dumb stuff. We know this. We've seen it. All right, that's my PSA. I'm going to work. Card show tomorrow. Respond to this video. Let me know, and have a good weekend.